Hi, I'm Ben Wojdyla. Today on Saturday Mechanic, I'm going to take a stab at answering one of your questions. How you doing today? I'm Ben, and this is Russ. Who are we talking to?
This is Dave from Hoboken, New Jersey. How are you guys?
Hoboken. I love that name.
Yes, I do too. You and Frank Sinatra, are you buddies?
Oh yeah, we go way back.
Okay. Right.
So how'd you find out about us?
Twitter, of course.
The Twitter. I got to get on that thing. I hear it's a big deal.
It's on computers now, I understand.
So do you have a problem for us today?
A 1976 Trans Am.
Ooh,
And the
fine
brake
vintage.
pedal is acting up a little, and it feels kind of soft and squishy.
Okay, so before we get anywhere on this question, have you noticed that you're hitting things more often?
No, I haven't. No more than usual. No.
Okay. Well then, have you checked your brake fluid lately?
I have not. No, I have not.
Well, that could be a good place to start. The master cylinder is right there, right about in front of your feet, or right above where your feet would be when you're sitting in the driver's seat on the firewall under the hood. And what could have happened is some air got into that system.
As the brakes wear,
Yeah.
and you have disc brakes up front, and they displace a lot of brake fluid. So maybe you got some air in there, although you'd have very difficult braking.
Yeah, you'd be hitting things at this
Ben,
point.
this car has front disc brakes and rear drum brakes.
The magnificence of the 70s.
Yes, okay. Well, we still have drum brakes in a lot of cars, and it's still this common problem. If you have a low brake pedal, the first thing we should always check is the adjustment of the drum brakes. Now, they do have a self-adjuster in there, but after 30 plus years, there's a good chance that self-adjuster has frozen up. And so as the rear brakes wear, they have no means to automatically adjust now. I would check to see if the rear adjusters are doing their job. And on that car, what they rely on is when you back out of your driveway, you kind of cock the trigger, if you will. And when you drive forward and step on the brake, if there's space to be made up, it will then turn a pawl on the self-adjuster, and it will adjust that up, and we don't have any problems with that. After a while, though, those things just, that's pretty rough environment living inside of a brake, and moisture and all that, and they rust. So if it were myself, I would remove the rear drums. They'll probably come right off because they're not adjusted up. And I would go to look at, it's a bar, and on this, that bar will be at the bottom of the brake shoes. They're like two clamshells. And at the bottom of the brake shoe will be this adjuster with a screw on there.
It looks kind of like a cog on a screw wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's a little lever that's connected to a cable or sometimes a metal link, and that's what pulls the trigger. If it cannot move, it will not adjust up. If we can free this up, then you can adjust your brakes out and your pedal should come up. And again, just to go back, the reason why the pedal's low is we have to displace a lot of brake fluid in order for the shoes to come into contact with the rotating drum. If we repair this, we'll get the shoes within a couple thousandths of an inch, and as soon as you build brake pressure, it'll come into contact with those. And in fact, that's when it builds enough pressure, then it allows, through a metering valve, it allows the front brakes to start to get pressure. And that's kind of like when you used to ride your bicycle when you were a kid, or even now. You grab a little bit of rear brake first, and then you grab a whole handful of front brake.
And I guess you could take that metaphor even a little bit further. If you
That
had
was an analogy. That wasn't a metaphor.
All right, well.
It could be simile, but that was an analogy.
All right, so if we take the clamps that break the shoes on the rim of your brake on the bike, right? If they're far apart, it takes a lot of grip, a lot of hand grip on your handlebar to get those shoes to touch. But if we adjust those tighter to the rim, it takes a lot less pull on the handle.
That was a great analogy, Ben.
It was a great analogy, correct?
So Dave, does that give you some direction?
That gives me a little direction.
Okay. Do you think you're capable of pulling the rear wheels off and safely jacking the car, jack stands of course, and taking a look at that?
Yeah.
It could be as simple as jacking it up, and if the wheels spin freely, just as easy as could be without any resistance, I would adjust those rear brakes.
Okay, I'll give that a shot. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
All right, when you get to the repair itself, if you get into there, and you have any problems, or if you just want to let us know how it went, feel free to drop your experience in the comment section below in the YouTube video when that goes up. Same goes for everybody else watching. If you have anything to add, make sure to add the comments below.